This was the most exciting part of it. This part. Uh, that was my voice actually, but I'm going to show you how I did that. I turned it to that effect in a short while. So, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Vicky Melody's channel, the Playboy Sound. So, this tutorial is not actually a tutorial. I was trying to show how I made a particular beat. This guy, he texted me from Italy, and he wanted something that is retro. That's an 80s vibe, like the kind of vibe they made in 80s, like the kind of sound that artists like Post Melon they use now. Those things are 80 vibes or 80s or 70s vibe. All right, so let me take you straight to the DAW. I use FL Studio. You could use any DAW of your choice to show you how I made this beats. Okay, let me play a few sections of the beat. So majorly when he contacted me and said he wanted this kind of beat, the first thing that came to my mind was tape machine. Tape machine. That was the only thing that came to my mind before I now started thinking of how to get the drum kits and the whole stuff. Because normally I make Afrobeats. Uh, Getting every new job is a challenge. So I challenged myself to make this. So the first thing I did, if you watch, the first thing I just did when I opened the project, the first thing I did was I added a tape because I knew it was tape machines that give you that old sounds because it was made with magnets, and those sounds you hear like especially this wow flutter. I increased it to like 50. It was like giving it more of that magnetic sound because it makes your sound signal to fluctuate, like vibrate small. Understand? Then I also added some noise, like 25%. The white noise is those boards, those mixers, they are connected through wires, and electricity passing through the wires what gives that white noise that you hear. So that was the first thing I just did, added it to my stuff. And the next thing, I my tape speed, uh it was 15 IPS. Then that was all. Then it was giving I was ready to start making this instrumental. All right, so the first thing I did was I went online and started searching out 80s drum kits, and after doing some surfing on the internet, I got a few, you understand, and I loved them. So I started with this. This was just a hi hat. Then the snare, the snare has a lot of reverb to it. You understand? Then the kick, the kick has some highs to it. That's what gives it that flavor. Understand? It doesn't sound like the Afrobeat stuff. Every genre has their vibe. Understand? So it was just so after I also added a clap. So we're just giving it that their groove, and I was okay. I was satisfied with it. That was just all I did for the drum groove. But I think this was the most exciting part of it. This part. Uh, that was my voice actually, but I'm going to show you how I did that. I turned it to that effect in a short while. So after adding after adding the drums, then I already had the progression. The artist already had the progression in mind that he wanted it to go. So I added a bass because I wanted. That was how I was feeling. Every instrumental comes with a particular feeling. So the way you feel, you lay down your sound. There's no particular way. You mustn't do this first or this, that, that. So I laid the bass. This particular bass was from Expand, and the name of the bass is Love the 80s. Exactly. Once I saw the name under the bass, I said, I don't care how it sounds, it's going to sound good. And I played it and I loved it. So it's Love the 80s. That's the name of the bass. Added this sound. Where did I get it from? Where did I get that from? Okay, that sound was coming from contacts, Excel, output Excel. So that was where I got uh, that sound from. It was from the pads under. I just bounced it to audio so that to say, contact eats a lot of space. So I had to now bounce it down. So if you listen, let me play how it sounds naturally without effect, because that particular sound has been affected to sound a little bit retro to me. So this is how it sounds. But this is how it sounds after processing. Man, they just took my light. Now this is Nigeria. Nigeria don't for my hand, but I'll take them out and bring them in. The first thing I did was a band pass equalization. I just took off the lows and the highs. I just wanted the mids and the high mids, just that part. Because back in the days when they make the record sounds, the machines then don't have ability to record very high frequencies, just unlike we have in this present day. So I added that, then I added the Fruity Love filter. Just before I just added it there and it was just giving me, I didn't tweak that. Understand? So I brought in this guy, the Arrow C20, the retro color, retro, just to color it to give it the old vibe. Then on it, it has the noise, the wobble, that's the shakiness that comes with the magnetic stuff. There is also additional magnetic stuff to add, but I didn't want to add it. I just love the way it sounded. You see that the stuff is now shaking. It's from this wobble, and some of there is a little bit noise. You understand? Then I added delay. And that was all I did there. So then back to this sound. Now this is actually my voice. I recorded that part. I wanted to get that kind of tune to it. So this is how it sounds. My raw vocal, how it sounds. So, but this is how it sounds after the processing and the whole. The first thing I did, the first thing I added was an EQ, cut off all of the lows. Then I added a compressor to glue it together and also kill the dynamics. I don't want, this is not like the main vibe of the song. It's just an additional stuff, so it doesn't need to have a lot of dynamics. So I just flattened the whole stuff with a compressor, and I added the auto tune EFX. This is not the real auto tune. The main auto tune we use is just an auto tune effect. Like it has a lot of effects. This is the auto tune EFX Plus. It has a lot of tons of effects that you can use to treat your vocal. But then I tried it, it wasn't working the way I wanted it. So I just used it for to tune the pitch for the auto tune effect. Then I now went over to manipulator. I used the manipulator plugin, and now the harmonics I increased it to +1. The alternator just messed around with it. Then I got the sound. So that was that. Then I just soaked it in reverb, and that was it. Very simple and straightforward. So the next sound I added was I just did a lot of I used the output Excel, one of the best, if not the best. I think between Contact and Arcade, I think they make good vocal samples. So I just used selected. I just made a lot of samples. I had to bounce them down to audio, like put them here and there in the beat. You understand? These are the little elements you add in between your beat that gives it that difference. Like because it's not the regular stuff people hear on instrumental, so they'll be like, what's happening there? So I had a lot. So that was just I just fixed them in between the when the main groove was going. So those stuffs were just coming once in a while, you understand, to just make the beat exciting. And if you listen correctly with if you listen attentively with your headset or speakers, you understand that those sound effects we are panned left and right, like to keep the groove going, like not to have a boring moment, like no dull moment. So that was just literally the whole beat. Then when it came to the chorus, I just brought in that vocal sample I did with my mouth. Then I added an extra plug. This one is from Flex. It's a default plugin. It's a default plugin. I just that was literally it. Then when we came to when we were transitioning into the next phase, so I used like this sound. Like it's an explosion sound. This, but then let me bring my playlist down here so you see it. But here, this is the explosion sound here. But then I had to reverse it, and also so I to have that rising effect, then come back into it. So no boring, no dull moment. There is always something in the next place. And also in the transition, I added this sound. That was from one plugin. I think is Taichun. That's Taichun. Yeah, this Taichun. I think is coming from the sound effect. That's SE, and there are lots of voices here you can mess around with. And this guy has a lot of sound. One of my best plugins. So, so that was just literally it. Then those were all the sounds I added there, just patterning them to suiting to different parts, and that's just all. That's just all. So if you've not subscribed up to this moment, do well to subscribe, and also comment the kind of tutorial you want to see on the channel. So see you guys next time. Peace.